everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. This is Starting 11, and we're here to talk about the Premier League, which I have been trying to keep up with and failing
I was going to
while
say
I was away.
this is not an illusion. Adelia is on the program this
I'm
week.
finally back. I've missed literally since the last international break, and we're
Oh,
heading
was that
into
it?
this one. Yeah,
Oh my gosh! And
yeah.
even wearing your Arsenal kit. I only wear the jerseys are for winners in the
No.
Snark household. I'll get the flag up. But we'll talk about that match. That match was the last match played this week, so we'll eventually get to it. But we're gonna start off the week. We'll start slow. We got to easy back in to the
Mm-hmm.
Premier League here, Adelia. And what a better way than by talking about West Ham and Everton, because those
It
guys
was a match.
didn't bother scoring. They
Yeah.
couldn't. They didn't even have it in them to at least put one in. I guess there was a good Jordan Pickford save near the end. A ball goes off a leg, and then he has to get his fingertips to. That's it. That was the run of the game. How bad is West Ham?
They're
It's pretty
bad.
fun. It's pretty fun to watch. Actually,
It's
I
fun
really
to
enjoy
watch,
this.
but I'm more amazed at how much better they were under David Moyes.
Yep,
We kept
he
saying,
like
"How does David Moyes have a job?" We now
yep.
understand how David Moyes had a job.
He warned them all. He said, "Yeah, we may be boring, but we win." Lopetegui is neither, exciting nor victorious ever. They're just an
Mhm.
awful club. Everton, yeah, they're not very good either. But
Everton
yeah,
also awful.
uh, I'm just starting to think is a Lopetegui a worse hire than say like Chelsea hiring Graham Potter a couple years ago.
Might
I,
be.
this guy just does not fit at all. Terrible,
Yeah.
awful. Speaking about terrible and awful, we got the week's toilet bowl coming up next. And it's Wolves, they're at the Molyneux. They're up against
Mhm.
Southampton. This isn't going to be one that you're going to remember years and years from now. But Wolves finally do it. They finally get their first win of the year. And honestly, you knew it was going to have to come in this
It
match.
had to happen at some point.
They haven't been terrible. They just haven't been good enough to win matches.
Yeah.
And you feel bad for Jose Sa, especially after he got his starting position back. He's played some really good matches, and they just haven't gotten results. Well, they get the results this time. Pablo Sarabia scoring. It's a fantastic feed from Matias Cunha. That's
Mhm.
less than 2 minutes in. That's a minute 48 in, Adelia. Somehow the fastest goal Wolves have ever scored in the Premier League.
That's crazy.
Yeah, their their incredible history that they have with the
Oh yeah.
Premier League. I guess is there's only a few matches to choose from. I guess, but yeah, just that was it. Now looks like Southampton ties it 10 minutes later, and as far as the week goes and calls for officials, the calls on the field officials, there isn't too much to gripe about. This one, kind of close. Manning scores, but VAR catches Mateus Fernandez colliding with Semedo in front of the net. They have ref go to look at it. He decides to wave off the goal. There's certainly contact there. I don't know if Semedo helped create the contact with that, but it, if you're, of all the calls that we've
Yeah.
complained about on VAR, this isn't going to be, one where you say, "Oh, how could you miss it? How could you actually call this?" It's like, yeah, he collided with him. It seems to open up space. Would you have called that down the pitch? Probably, you know what I mean, to create space. So yeah, I'm fine with it. Cunha actually gets the insurance marker in this one as well. In the
Fantastic
51st,
goal.
yeah, he can hit the ball pretty good.
Mhm.
This is why you're wondering, how did these guys not win before? Like, they got talent. it looks like it was on display. And then you have to think also, it was Southampton.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know your buddy's in net for Southampton, former buddy, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
there was no way he was going to get to into that shot. So
Southampton are really bad.
one of the big problems with that goal is all the Southampton players flopping. They'd have possession, then they'd flop looking for a free kick because they didn't want to run down the
Mhm.
pitch. They
Yeah.
just stand up. What are you guys doing? They're not going to call it because you could see them pushing up against the guy, just like back to the guy, pushing up against the guy, and then they'll drop. They did that
Yeah.
twice on that run up. So they just get to Cooney. Cooney just has acres of space. Everyone's lying around. Just goes to the top of the D and bam. There you go. Let that be a lesson to you. Always compete. Don't take the easy way. You went against
That's
Wolves.
the worst thing you can do is not compete, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
They just stopped doing it. They taking shortcuts didn't work. Didn't work. Okay, let's move on. Here's the London Derby everyone's been waiting for.
Oh yeah.
Brentford and Bournemouth. Let's see. It was actually a very good match.
How is
Evan Nilsson.
Bournemouth in a London derby?
I just saw that afterwards. I said, "Isn't that even a derby?" I don't know why I wrote that
It's
down.
not.
Anyways, Evan Nilsson scores again. Evan Nilsson over the last 5 matches has been very good. Good run of
Mhm.
form for him. He scores 17 minutes in. A bit of help, I guess.
Little bit of help.
We'll say one of the poorest back passes by a defender you'll see this side of
Oh,
Axel Disasi.
it was bad.
Yeah. Sepp Vandenberg ought to be ashamed of himself. Terrible. Anyways, Evan Nilsson go in on Mark Fleck and beat him easily. But Jon Wissa gets that one back. They tried this a couple of times and it works this time. A really long throw from Matthias Jensen. And Vitaly gets his head to it and then it gets over to Wissa and in. But that throw, because they try it again in the second half, is pretty good. I don't know how he gets all that power on that throw to get it that far and that accurate, but yeah, that's a weapon for sure. Anyways, so Wissa makes it 1-1. We go to the second half. Justin Kluivert's going to score 4 minutes in. Real nice passing play inside the box. Gets a bit of space, scores. Then Mikkel Damsgaard will level it just a minute later. A really similar looking play. Nice passing inside, except that this goal comes from a pretty sharp angle. And I don't know how Kepa lets that in. Kepa, how dare you? Kepa. Anyways, Whistle will then give Brentford the lead. Really nice pass this time from Yanelt. Now, here's where a bit of controversy happens in this match. With it 3-2, Evan Nilsson is in the box, and I can't remember where his who's defending against them, but they're in each other close, moving towards goal. Evan Nilsson falls. Goalie or the ref just waves it off. It's fine. I was watching Sky Sports and they slow this thing right down, and the two commentators saying, "Oh, that'd be a foul anywhere on the pitch. That should be a penalty." And it's like, how many times? Like, is this the first time I've ever agreed with Dermot Gallagher? And I said, "How is this a penalty?" Like, you can't even know. Like, if he touches him, it is the slightest of things. If you call that a foul anywhere on the pitch, you're gonna get bit. And then his heel gets clicked. Like, again, I don't think he actually touches the guy. I think he just clicks his own heel. Falls down. Anyways, it doesn't get called. Bournemouth will get another chance late on, but it goes off the crossbar. So nice tight match. A couple of goal swings. It's a fun way to spend a Saturday. Was watching Brentford and Bournemouth. Yeah, that's it. Bizang on the win, 3-2. There you go.
Yep.
Now, moving on. This is the one that I had marked down. That's the London Derby. I just started reading the wrong damn thing from my notes.
Because you said London Derby and then you said Bournemouth, and I went, what?
Yeah, I started reading the wrong notes. I started reading. I saw the right thing. Started reading the wrong thing. Said, "What's this?" Then you correct me. I said, "Oh yeah, this one." This is Palace and Fulham, two teams that are certainly in London. One team
Yes.
may or may not be in Fulham. That's debatable. So I only know of one
Okay.
team that's in Fulham. Anyways,
Okay.
poor Crystal Palace. They've forgotten how to score again.
Yes, they have.
But they had no Eze, they had no Enkedia in this one, so they you know what, they were in a little deep.
Mm-hmm.
Your old pal Emil Smith Rowe gets the
Yeah.
first one in the first half extras. Dean Henderson probably should have had a better job. That kind of weak wristed, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Kind of goes
Very
through him
much.
on that one. Second half in Daiki Kamada. You won't see too many challenges worse this year
No, it's
than what he does to
awful.
Kenny Tete.
I was really
Leaving his
worried though, really worried that they were gonna go yellow card first here. 'Cause
oh, it
that's
makes
just how bad the refereeing has been this year. I was like, "That's a
yeah,
straight red." So I
yeah.
was glad to see they at least called it right.
They called it right. He leaves his feet, spikes up, and it's above the knee. Oh, just
It's awful.
it's a terrible challenge, terrible challenge. So he's sent off, and then Harry Wilson will score again for
Mhm.
Fulham 6 minutes after that. Smith Rowe and Wilson each had goals taken off the board too. I
Yep.
think Smith Rowe was for offside, and
Yeah,
Harry Wilson, I think he played it with
yeah.
his hand
Played with
while it
his
was
hand.
going in. Yeah.
I just
Anyways,
wanna say I'm very
yeah,
happy for Neil Smith Rowe. I think it's great that he's doing good at Fulham.
getting playing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could have had a look at your other guy, but and Kedia gets hurt. Kedia, I don't
Reece
think
Nelson
Klaus is the
also
place
played
for.
in this game.
There you go. It's like a little family reunion for you.
Like, Fulham has become like the 2016 Arsenal Academy
Mm,
in certain positions.
kind of like AC
They've got
Milan
Bernd
for
Leno,
Chelsea.
our former goalkeeper in goal. Like,
That's true.
Fulham is a bunch of Arsenal rejects.
They're full of rejects, all right. I can give you that. Yeah, these guys could have won 6-0, 8-0.
Mhm.
Yeah, this match was not close at all. You ready to move on to some fun stuff?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the South Coast. In the Amex with Brighton's hosting City. Oh, you juggernaut city, you monstrous city. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
they score first.
Yeah.
23 minutes in, it's Erling Haaland, of course, and they dominated the first half.
Yeah.
They
My
should have had two or three more.
commentator when Holland scored was like, "That's exactly what City needs after this tough week."
Oh, I saw that too.
I was like,
Is this the
"Yeah?
goal that changes everything for Manchester City?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Well,
No.
it's like the
Spoiler alert, it
it's
wasn't."
it's like the pitch was just weighted that way. There was this tilt, and they couldn't push the ball up to one side. Everything seemed to be on that one end. Because Brighton in the second half was very good,
Brighton was
and
amazing in the second half.
and it took them a little while to get rewarded, and it was two subs that got the job done. First, João Pedro, and what we like to
Mhm.
say in hockey is a goal mouse scramble. Ball just kind of lying around, a whole bunch of people in there, and Pedro somehow just comes in. Luckily, stays on side. So that was another worry when the way he came in, but
Mhm.
stays on side, beats Ederson, makes it 1-1, and then 5 minutes later, and the most Danish name you'll ever hear, guess the winner, Matt O'Reilly scoring. That's his first Premier League goal in his first Premier League appearance. I think he was on for only 25
Mhm.
minutes before he scored, something like that as well. Uh, yeah, coming over from Celtic. So at least that makes sense with Matt O'Reilly. Anyways, Brighton adds to the City misery. City now losers of four straight in all competitions.
No competition,
Um,
yeah.
and that Champions League one, they didn't play a whole bunch of players for some reason. But
Yeah.
anyways, they all count. First time Pep Guardiola's ever lost 4 matches in a row.
Mhm.
I just wanted to take a minute, Let
Just
that
gotta savor this while it
let
happens.
that sink in because I think next week they're playing Spurs, and I would really like it if they could
They're
both
playing
lose
they're playing
that much.
Spurs at the Etihad.
Yep. Well, you know, how can you both lose? This is how you have to think. How can you both lose? Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way. Anyways, Brighton's going to move up now into sixth spot. So good job, Brighton. There you are.
Mhm.
Now to some odd stuff. Not odd in the match. Liverpool and Aston Villa. Aston Villa, horrible the week
Awful.
before against Spurs, especially
Yeah.
second half. And they come in here to Anfield, which is always tough. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
Liverpool always seems to play at home this year somehow too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Except next week when they're at Southampton. Ridiculous. Anyways, Liverpool at home to Villa. Uh, see, Villa only has the 2 shots on net. All right, just to give you an idea of how bad
Mhm.
they are in this. And they have a whole bunch of players added to the England squad because nobody actually wanted to play for this ridiculous international break they're doing. But anyways, other than
Yeah.
that, Darwin Nunez opening the scoring for Liverpool. Salah gets the assist. Salah was for sure just flopping so he could go to the spot here, right? Because he thought that he was going to be last one back.
Certainly.
It looks like he
Certainly.
got the barest of touches, and he fell down. But the ball goes forward, and Nunez gets it. Nice move to get inside. Scores a nice goal on Martinez.
Mhm.
Now, second goal, Salah again. This time getting in front of Diego Carlos. Awful pass from midfield. And he's the last one back. Salah has acres of space. And he actually has 2 guys come up with him. One guy manages to make it back in defense. He has 2 guys up with him, but he keeps the ball to himself. Goes right in on Martinez, which I thought was weird, but finds a spot and scores. Of course, Salah's going to score. He's pretty good. Turns out Mo Salah is okay at playing football,
Yeah,
no
just
matter
he's
what.
alright.
No matter what the special one might think. So, Liverpool wins. They have a 9-point advantage over City
Mhm.
now for top spot in the league. This is all, smoke and mirrors, guys. This is not the way it's going to end up. Liverpool's just being consistent. They're not great. They're going to go
Yeah.
down. They're going to drop. So don't worry about it. The one thing about the match was that it was officiated by David Coote.
Yep.
And then the next day, I think it's weird that this comes out the next day, like
I do find
after
this
the match.
strange it comes out the next day too.
Somebody had this for a while. I'm thinking because what we're talking about is um, a recorded conversation, like video conversation between Coot and we're presuming maybe a couple of friends
Mhm.
from 2020, and this is Project Restart, and he's talking about. He said, "Looks, he's had a couple. He's had a couple." With the
Mhm.
boys.
Yeah.
He's getting a little loose lipped. I guess they were talking about how he feels about some things or whatever, and they get to Jurgen Klopp. He proceeds to call Klopp, I think, probably the most derogatory word you can call
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
If you're a friend of or if you're a fan of the TV show The Boys, you've heard the word plenty. We won't say it here. We won't say it here.
I'm
Family
not
show.
saying it here.
Adelia, I had to make her promise she wouldn't say the word. She's lived up to that
Brooke's
promise.
never gonna say that word.
Yeah, and then and then they also called that Liverpool are all bell ends, and that everybody hates Scousers.
Mhm.
And I would like you to tell me where's the lies. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maybe you know what. As a fan or whatever, you could probably say that as the guy on the pitch determining plays and stuff like that and how the match is going to go. Maybe not the best thing to
No,
have
you
out there.
cannot say this stuff as a referee.
No. Despite the fact he gave 0 yellow cards to Liverpool, everything was against Villa. Yeah, that's why I thought it was weird that it came out in this match.
Yeah.
It's a very odd thing. Anyways, it's going to be tough for the PGMOL to actually skate this one by, even as
Mhm.
arrogant as they are. There's going to have to be something coming down on Coote. It's probably going to be, he's not going to be in the Premier League again for a long, long time, if ever again. He's not. They're not going to strip him of his job or anything like that. They'll just make him do championship
games.
football or League Two or something like that. I'm sure that he'll still be able to go to the UAE or Dubai and stuff like that. They'll still pay for him to go, as long as, I guess, it's not Liverpool visiting. So there you go.
Yep.
An odd bit of news.
Very odd. Also, this sort of, I've seen a lot of tweets of, this proves Arsenal fans right, because we've been saying for years that referees are biased. I think everyone's been saying for years that referees are biased.
Yeah, guys,
we've never had video evidence of the referee explaining his bias before.
Yeah. There are video compilations all over YouTube. You can find them easily. The Anthony Taylor one versus Chelsea. To say it's my personal favorite would be mistaken. If I ever want my blood to get boiling, I'll watch that one.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, terrible, awful. They're all awful. Get rid of them all. Get rid of this whole system of everyone has a priority and stuff like that. Forget it. And you got to get rid of the PGMLL. You got to get them out of the VAR. It's got to be two separate entities. It's got to be a check and balance, guys. Can't be your buddies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Awful officiating in the Premier League, best league in the world.
If they let David Coote referee in the Premier League again, then they've lost all credibility and they don't have much to begin with.
Yeah, they can't have it. Can't have it. Anyways, yeah, because it's not just Liverpool matches. You can't it's anything to do with title races. Yeah, it's everything. It just comes under a microscope, and for no reason. You don't need David Coote. There you go.
Yeah,
it's unneedable. There you are. Anyways, moving on. Let's go to Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
It started out the year quite well.
They were in third prior to this game, right?
Third spot in the league, considering the shenanigans going on last year, losing multiple points, hiring, referee consultants, and then everything going on with ownership. And and your pal Edu going over there to run them in Olympiacos or something like that. Very strange. Very strange. Everyone wants out of Arsenal for some reason. And just putting that out there. Now,
no, they don't.
Forest takes a 1-0 lead. Now, there's two things Forest does. They win at home, and they score on the counterattack. I've been saying that for years. This time it was neither. Murillo scores from a set piece on this one. It's a nice one. It's a nice header. But the second, that's 22 minutes in. In the second half, it's all Newcastle. Newcastle did the Jekyll and Hyde thing all in the same match this time instead of sprinting it over matches. They didn't look terrific in the first half. Second half, they really did look good. Alexander Isak scoring one from in close, 54 minutes in. Joe Linton, 72nd minute goal. Lovely curling strike from just inside the box.
Yeah.
Inside. And then Harvey Barnes added the third, 83 minutes in. I think Matt Sells needed to be a little bit better on this one. It had a slight deflection, but it was in close, and it looked like he was tight to the post or near the post. He should have had a piece of this. Shouldn't have gone in, but it didn't look like Forest were ever going to score in the second half anyways, and they were already down one. So it really doesn't come to matter, but I just think Sells could have had a better job. I heard the color commentator saying, Sells had no chance. Like, no chance? What are you talking about? Anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Let's keep moving.
Moving.
Look at that. Look what we're doing here. Keeping on moving. Next, we go to Old Trafford. Man,
What's different there since the last time I was here?
Nothing. Nothing's been going on over there at all. They haven't been, the source of all drama, it seems, in the league this year.
Mhm.
maybe it's going to come to an end, at least until the end of the year and stuff like that, especially since, well, we'll talk about this in a minute. Let's just go to the goals. Bruno Fernandes scores. Yay. My favorite guy. Anyways, that's 17 minutes. And then we get an own goal by Victor Christensen. Unlucky. Looks like the cross comes in, hits his boot. I don't even think he kicks it or whatever. Just kind of goes off his boot into the top of the net. So, yeah, a little unlucky for him there. That was 20 minutes after that. 2-0. Garnacho even scores in this one. He gets his third of the campaign. It's 3-0. Final. An end to the Ruud van Nistelrooy era at Old Trafford. What an era it
Which
was.
was oddly successful.
It was, yeah. Well, they beat Leicester, draw against Chelsea, and a win in what was the Carabao Cup? Was that what they were in?
I
Or
think so.
no? Yeah. So there you go. And that's, what was that against? Was that against Brighton? I can't remember who it was against.
I don't
Anyways,
remember.
Chelsea's
Anyways,
out of the cup, so it doesn't matter to me. Yeah. There you go. Now we're talking about Ruben Almiron. Is going to be taking over now. It's the international break, so he is in from Sporting. He's bringing in all his own guys, so everybody who was on the staff before for United dismissed. I think at least these guys are going to go on good terms and stuff like that. Especially Ruud van Nistelrooy. They're not going to chase him out of town with pitchforks and stuff like that. I think he's
yeah, they'd
popular.
never do that to him.
I think he's popular there for some reason.
Yep.
Now, just a little bit of sort of Leicester news. I think it's just important to say that Gary Lineker is finally going to be stepping away from Match of the Day on the BBC. 26 years he's been in charge there. Probably the most popular presenter in England. Certainly the most expensive, especially, well, at the BBC anyways. I think that him making £1.5 million a year was a sticking point for a lot of people on a free government funded television network. But there you go.
Yep.
So congratulations to Gary Lineker. That's it. Tried to fill something in with Leicester. Who cares about Leicester? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He also played for
Good for
Spurs,
him.
which is great. So there
He
you
did. So, like, I don't care. But
go.
good for him stepping away from Match of the Day. 26 years doing anything in your second career after
Yeah.
your first career ended is pretty impressive. So,
Yep. You want to talk about Spurs? Want to talk about
yes. Let's
something
talk about this game.
something to warm everyone's heart on a cool late fall. I guess it's mid fall actually. Night.
Yeah.
Got snow on my car on Sunday. Delia, I had to clean snow off my car. Coming home from
Yeah.
work today, snow in the air.
Hmm.
So I could use
We
something
haven't had
to warm
we
my
haven't had
soul.
snow yet here. But
Just,
my sister got 19 inches of snow last weekend. So
well,
I'm glad
I think
that I
she's
haven't
in
had snow yet.
an area that's a little further high up than me, and those places get these kind of things.
Mhm.
But Tottenham hosting Ipswich
Ipswich.
Town, the Tractor Boys.
Yep.
Sam Schmodix given a little bit of space in front of net. I think he has a fun overhead kick
Mhm.
for the goal. To say it's overhead, though, is
No.
kind of taking the piss from it. He was off the ground by maybe a foot, maybe
Mhm.
two. It was low. He just got to lie down and kick behind himself or whatever. It went in. Just awful defending in front of the net by Spurs.
Terrible defending from Spurs.
It goes 1 to Ipswich. This is at the vaunted Porta Potty in North London. Next,
Mhm.
if Ipswich is going to score a second goal, who's it going to come from? Liam Delap,
Of course.
who has been so good for him this year. Ball comes in. Vicario makes a save on it, and then it goes off Dragusin, and then it just falls to Delap. Two poor plays in a row, capitalized by Ipswich. It's 2-0. It'll go that way into the second
Mhm.
half. and things look a little worrying if you're, uh, someone who would prefer that Spurs don't win. Because 4 minutes in, it looks like they've they've gone the game to within one. But again, like the game on the previous day, looks like Solanke's hand gets in the way of his own shot. So it's taken off the board. That was in the 49th minute. Betancourt will score for Spurs, and I believe that's in the was it the 71st minute, something like that. Anyways, nice header, but that's it. They couldn't score another goal. Ipswich Town has finally won a match in the Premier League for the first time, and I don't even know. I didn't
Since
bother looking it up.
2002, I think they said.
22 years. Congratulations to Kieran McKenna. It's how hospitable are Spurs? They let Ipswich Town win. They let Crystal Palace win. At least it was Palace won at home, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But who are the Spurs? They like Villa. Well, Villa haven't looked good in the last two matches, but they absolutely threw them around. The second half, at least, last week, and then they give up. They give you this. They give you this. Awful. This is awful. Anyways, I like it. I'm not. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Not looking good for Ange's I always win a trophy in my second season thing.
You're calling.
They're out of the Carabao Cup.
Are you besmirching Ange Postecoglou's?
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Well, that was a ridiculous thing to say, and someone said something ridiculous at the end of this next match as well. And this is their final match. It's the starting 11 derby.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got Chelsea taking on Arsenal. It was a match.
It was a match.
It didn't look like anybody was, Chelsea has some good chances in the first half. I think that Gusto should be ashamed of himself for missing that wide open header at the side of the net.
Yeah.
This is why he hasn't scored for Chelsea, at least in the Premier League since he's come here. You can't miss chances like that. It's ridiculous. It seems to get started him over Reece James. Yeah, I like what Maresca's doing, but there's some decisions that I just don't understand. But he's want for choice, I guess, and I guess if you're a manager and you have all these fun toys to play with to get everything you want together, might be. This is why I talk about this stuff and don't actually do it. Anyways, let's talk about Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz thinks he scores a goal.
It was close.
It was close. I don't know what Kai Havertz is. He scores. He puts the ball in. This is at his former ground, a ground that and a team that he won the Champions League for.
Mm-hmm.
He scored the match-winning goal in the Champions League final. He scores this one, and then he starts shushing the crowd. He jumps up and he's pumping the air and stuff like that.
Probably I saw that, and my commentators, what I was like, is like he's celebrating modestly. I was like, I don't think that's what he's doing.
That was not what he's doing, and he got bodied for the rest of the match. For that, they were all over him, and the ref was like, Michael Oliver's just letting him do it. They were physical with Kai Havertz after he did that or whatever, and the fact that it got called off.
He got bloodied at one point.
Well, and Cucurella is yelling at Oliver's like, "Stop the match!" Like he's bleeding. Like in a lot of
his head.
Some people are saying like, is Cucurella like playing for time or something like that? Like, he's pointing at his head. He was bleeding.
I don't think Cucurella was playing for time there. I think he was like, Michael Oliver, you're a dipshit. He's got a head injury. Stop the game.
Well, everyone knows that Michael Oliver is 100%
He was bleeding from his head.
Yeah, ridiculous. Anyways, Arsenal will get the first goal, and Martinelli, and this one's close too. This was
Yeah.
it was tight, but Levi Cole will definitely kept Martinelli onside.
Hmm.
Like at first glance when I saw it, I was like, "There's no way this counts." And then you see the replays. Oh, okay. Well, one guy is way back from his line that he should not have been at. Oh, Cole will. Anyways, nice goal. Maybe
Saw the
Sanchez,
gap. Sanchez could have maybe closed that gap a little bit more.
maybe, but that's been his. He's had. It's a good thing he has two Achilles heels because he has a. It seems like he has a bunch more because he has that. He has his distribution and stuff like that. Just
Hmm.
some odd choices, but then he makes great saves and that penalty he saves earlier in the year. So yeah, tough. Anyways, Pedro Neto finally getting a goal for
Kai
Chelsea.
Havertz just standing there while
Yeah,
Pedro Neto scores this goal.
there's I saw some people talking after the match, like different pundits or whatever, and they really went after Havertz or whatever. He's kind of just been a hanger on. They said of lately, and I think he has 4 goals this year or something like that. So he has contributed. It's just he was never good defensively, guys. This is why I think that's why they kept them at a 9 here in Chelsea. It's just like get them as far away from the ball as you can. Anyways, it's a nice goal from well out. Nice those hard low shots, so difficult to get to. Yep, and that's the game tire. Nicholas Jackson has one pulled back late as well. Now, Cole Palmer in this match completely marked out.
He was
And
non-existent.
this is happening a few times. He had first half. I think he had a couple good plays, but for the most part, they did a good job shutting him down. I think Kukurea did a
My
great job on Saka
com
as well.
Yeah, Gray did a great job on Saka. My commentators were wanted so badly for Cole Palmer to score something from a free kick. And then we'd like get a free kick close. You guys would get a free kick close to the Arsenal box, and they'd line it up, and they'd be all ready for Cole Palmer to do something amazing, and he just hit it straight into the wall twice in a row.
Yeah, that's also you guys are pretty good at defending set pieces, not just scoring set pieces. You guys are
Yeah,
good at that.
yeah.
But yeah, I think he's trying to do a little too much. I think it might be in his head now. He scored some pretty nice
Mhm.
goals from set pieces, from free kicks this year and last as well. So now I think it's just in his head trying to do too much, and he's got to settle down. International breaks coming. He isn't going to go play for England. He's got whatever he's going to say he has.
Yeah.
He's tired or something like that. Maybe that if that's can be an excuse to use that. But man, I just say this is one of the most ridiculous international breaks you're going to get.
Yep.
But let's keep
Why
going.
do we
Talking about
need why do we need 3 international breaks to start the season?
there's no World Cup, there's no Euros, there's no nothing. This is a cup free summer, so I don't get it. Martin
Um,
Odegaard came back.
he did.
He
He
looked good.
looked like he hadn't played in like 2 months.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
He was pretty good. He definitely like stitched passes together that we've been missing in the last several games, but
No,
he also doesn't look up to speed yet, and that's to be
no.
expected because it's his
I
first game back.
I thought he played too long. You know what I mean? I think he was
Yeah,
on the pitch for. I think he should have came off earlier. I'm glad he didn't. Mind you.
I know you are.
Yeah, I just thought, why is he still here in the 70 something? Just bring him off. You guys have other guys. Anyways, Arteta after the match talks about how Arsenal dominated Chelsea and deserved more. Do you agree?
That's an Arteta thing. I mean, that's
Yes.
just what Arteta
The,
says all the
the,
time.
the ball was 50-50. They each had only the 3 shots on. I think
Yeah,
Arsenal had like 3 more directed at net and something. There was
yeah,
nothing between the two.
no.
And just
It was a draw. It was a deserved draw. I don't think
yeah,
either one of the teams did enough to win the game. Arteta is just being Arteta.
yeah. And I think Chelsea was probably better first half. Arsenal probably better in the second half. There
Yeah,
you
I'd
go.
agree with that.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. God,
It was
I want
interesting
to
at the
see Net.
end.
I really want Neto on that right hand side. Like, hopefully, Sancho is going to be back soon after this
Yeah,
international break. Try maybe Neto on the one side, Sancho on the other. I think that'd be so much
yeah.
fun. Neto just looks
It was
better on the right.
it was interesting to me. NBC broadcast this game here, and John Champion was the commentator for NBC, and he
Okay.
said at the end of the first half, a somewhat disappointing first half, and they went to the studio, and it was Robbie Musto and Tim Howard, and they both went, I don't know why he said that. I thought that was a great first half. And I was just sitting there going like, what? It was very strange.
Yeah. Odd. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I think that's a game between two clubs that should have shown better.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
like
Arsenal's in a little bit of
Chelsea
a
against.
slump right now.
They are. Chelsea should have looked better against United as well. They should have taken it to them. They didn't.
Mhm.
So this is I would say, two disappointing efforts by them. I'm not disappointed by the results. I'm just disappointed with the effort. I think there was more in both matches. I'm sure you guys should be disappointed where it's been, the football's been a little bland of late,
Yeah.
and not as forward thinking.
Missing Odegaard for sure, and it's
Yeah,
good that he's back.
that's what I was wondering. And we talked about it on the show. I talked about it with Ferris on the show. It's like Odegaard coming back is going to help you guys tremendously because you guys just haven't looked the same since he's been gone. So
Yeah, we
he
don't
gets
really
that
have
first match
anyone.
in.
We don't really have anyone else in the midfield that's as creative as he is.
Right.
So when you take that creativity out of the team, it doesn't flow the way that we're used to it flowing.
I think Declan Rice has been a disappointment for you guys this year, for sure, at least for the money that you guys paid. Last year, you can't say that, I guess. I think last year he was fine. This year, it's Declan Rice.
I don't think it works playing him and Party together.
Nope. I don't think so either. But, are we going to see less Party now? Yes, we are.
I would certainly hope so.
There's going to be a lot less Party. The Party, I wanted to say a party thing, but I couldn't think of it. That's why I kept saying the word. It's like something will come to me. No. Never did. Okay.
Thomas Party can get off my team. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Well, they tried, didn't they? It didn't quite work out. I think they tried over the summer. Now, international break coming up. No show next week.
No show.
But we're going to guess what the fixtures are going to be next time for Matchweek 12. Now, I took a look the other day about our Week 11 predictions. It looks like I won.
I didn't do very good this week. I'm still ahead of you in the table, though.
Yeah, I had a week where I only had 2 correct answers as well. And this time I was helped out, I think, by a draw that I got. So there you go. And I said, one of these could be a draw. So we're going to talk. Match week 12 starts off with a good ship. Chelsea Football Club having to go to Leicester. Is it the King's Power Stadium? I think it's still King's Power Stadium.
I think it's still the King Power Stadium, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Are Leicester going to beat Chelsea at home?
No.
I can easily say Chelsea's going to win.
Chelsea should win that.
Arsenal, the very next match, they get Forest at home. It's a tricky one, but you guys are at home.
I'm going Arsenal.
I'm going to say Arsenal as well, especially if Forest play like they did second half of this past week. Now, Aston Villa's at home. They get Crystal Palace. Should be a win, but they forgot to score this week too. So maybe if Palace can get a goal on these guys, who knows? But they still have to get that goal.
I don't trust Palace to get a goal, so I'm going Villa.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to say something to make Palace look more palatable.
No,
they are not. Villa should win that match. Bournemouth and Brighton in famously now London.
No, it's not in London. Draw. I'm going draw.
I like it. Jeez, I really want to say Brighton. I'm going to say Brighton.
Okay.
I think Brighton can win over, what is it? The Vitality Communities or whatever, VTech Stadium. Everton gets Brentford at home.
Brentford.
Yeah. Everton. Yeah. Everton's not going to win. Oh,
what
Everton.
else is there to say? I mean, there's not much.
No. Fulham get Wolves. Can Wolves get 2 in a row here?
No,
No.
Fulham.
Yeah. Fulham should win at the Cottage. This is the match we said before. How can both of these teams lose? City and Spurs to round out the Saturday games.
I feel like the international break will give Pep a chance to work things out, and I don't trust Tottenham to do anything at City, so I'm picking City.
Yeah, I don't think anyway. I'm going to pick Spurs. I like the only thing I was wrestling with is maybe there could be a draw, but I think I'm going to go with you and say City as well. Then the Sunday matches we mentioned already earlier as well. Southampton gets Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Should be a close one. Should be a
Uh,
close one.
I
But
would be surprised if it's a close one.
Liverpool, I choose Liverpool as well.
Mhm.
Ipswich, mighty Ipswich, gets to kick off the Ruben Amorim era at home against Man
I'm
U.
going United.
Say United win. I'm going to say a draw on this one.
Okay.
It's still the same players. That's all I can say.
It's still the same players for sure, but
Yeah.
I just think he'll get that new manager bounce out of his
Yeah, that's one thing I was worried about with the Chelsea match, and they ended up getting a draw out of that Chelsea match, which maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Newcastle and West Ham.
Newcastle are all over the place, but they're still better than West Ham, so I'm going Newcastle.
Yeah, you could probably say Coventry City is better than West Ham right now. I'm saying Newcastle as well. The only reason I wanted to bring up Coventry City is it looks like Frankie Lampard might start managing there, so good for Frankie.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, where else is he going to go? There was a rumor he was going to go to like AS Roma or something like that, and then they said,
I saw the rumors that AS Roma was considering Eric Ten Hag, and
that'd be
then
cool.
the next thing I saw was that they're going to convince Claudio Ranieri to come out of retirement because they'd rather do that than hire Eric Ten.
I'm hearing all kinds of things about Ancelotti getting the boot in Madrid, so
Interesting.
craziness. I think would Ancelotti go back to Italy? Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, one thing I
Yeah.
do know is that it's it for us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week on Starting 11. Glad to have been back. Sorry I was gone for so long. I went on vacation and then I got really, really sick. But we're back now, and we will not be here next week because of the international break, but we'll be back in 2 weeks.
She could do 1 week at a time, guys. 1 week at a time. Give her a break.
I mean, that's probably good. I'm surprised I didn't mute myself to cough during this because I'm still coughing a
There you go.
lot. So, Snark, where can people find you?
Oh, well, over on the entertainment side, LGRN After Snark with Danny weekends. We've been kind of doing every couple weeks. We're basically just trying to find time. I'm been a little busier here around the house lately and at work, and so trying to find the time has been difficult, but we've managed to do a couple of things. The last one we did one this past weekend about the Agatha All Along finale, which I really enjoyed. I really liked the series as a whole. He was surprised what I said. I think I liked it better than Loki and stuff like that. I don't know how many other people would agree with me about that, but I just really love the show, every single episode. So won't be doing one this weekend. I think we'll probably do one the week after, but stay tuned to your local Let's Get Ready network for details on that. Also, on the entertainment side, there's this little show called The Rewatchers Council. Now, it's a full 144 episode Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch with we've got some council members that join every once in a while from, let's see, Ferris Muthana and Brennan Marr will also show up on the show. I can't think of anybody else. Oh, and Adelia also does the show as well.
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
I've been missing from that show too, but I'm going to be back this week, provided I can watch 6 hours of Buffy on Thursday. So we'll see.
Oh, that's not, I've heard of worse things you could spend
So I
6
haven't
hours.
watched any of them.
Oh, really? Well, we're going to talk Revelations.
Yeah.
This time is let's just say that there's a bunch of episodes before it that are very good, and then Revelations, which isn't the worst episode, but you know, just considering some of the
Okay.
ones that leading up to it are so great. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it
The
for
last
me.
one I watched was Anne. I haven't watched any of them since.
Ooh, well,
So, I'm gonna watch them all on Thursday. That's my plan. So,
the second one, meh. After that, pretty good. There you go.
mhm.
That's the
So
rundown.
you can check us out over there on the entertainment channel. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers on the entertainment channel. So if you would be so kind as to go subscribe to that channel, we'd really appreciate it. There's a link to that channel in the description of this episode. Just also subscribe to this channel because we're getting close to 200 subscribers here on the highlights. Really appreciate it. Uh, Snark basically said everywhere you can find me here and Rewatchers Council. Just finished doing the Agatha All Along post credits with crew over there on the entertainment channel. Absolutely adored that series as well. And you can find me on Threads at Schizoaffective Adelia. You can find me on Blue Sky at adeliachambo.bsky.social. I
Ooh,
have quit Twitter and I'm never going back.
nice. I
That's
think
my
I even
vow.
have a blue sky thing now. Probably
Do you?
Snark. Yeah, I think it's Snark. I don't know. I
Okay.
just kind of did it because I saw on that Twitter or whatever a bunch of ads for something else that I really didn't like, and then somebody said, "Well, why don't you try this?" So I said, "Okay, there you go."
Yeah. I like Blue Sky a lot, so you can find me over there. I'm also occasionally on Threads. So,
Yeah.
um thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks. Until then, enjoy your interlull and not have to get up so early in the morning to watch soccer. Goodbye.
That's true.